Hello, Brother Nashi. How are you? Please post my story as anonymous. So, my story, it all started when I was invited to a party at this other club. Even though I work as a nurse, but being a slay queen, it is in my blood. Even to this very day, with all the stuff that has happened to me, I'm still dating guys that have questionable reputation and guys that deal with the occultic kingdom because I love money. The way that I love money, I can even sell my soul right now because one would think that I could have learned a lesson after my womb got stolen. But I was like, yeah, he stole my womb, so what? I already have my daughter, and I told myself that I did not want to have a child. And when I had my daughter, I gave my daughter to my mom, even though I take care of her. Having a child, I saw it as something that can disturb your peace, and it will make you not to go to places where you wanted to go to. And I can partly blame my auntie, who was my mother's youngest sister. She was the last born in the family, so she grew up as a spoiled woman and she did whatever that she wanted. She would even bring in men and sleep with them in the living room, whilst her parents, my grandparents, were in their bedroom. Yet when our mom would try to do something like that, they would wake up and chase away the boyfriend. So she spoiled me as well. My auntie, she was someone that was very soft. You would never think that she is such a loose woman. She would be having one boyfriend locked up in the bathroom, one boyfriend locked up in a spare bedroom, one boyfriend maybe in the living room. That is what used to happen, true facts. Because I was living under such conditions, these men, what they used to do, if a guy would come and then he sees that my auntie is with another woman, he would come to my bedroom and he'll be like, Lerato, please just give it to me. I want to be with a woman right now. I'm going to pay you. I can give you 300 rand. And for someone who was like in grade 8, then you have a guy that is telling you that they can give you money that is like 300 rand. It's a lot. You are thinking about how much you're going to use at school, maybe 50 rand, and this can last you for days. So even though I was underaged, I used to sleep with this man. But I was very bright and intelligent in school. There was no one that even suspected that I would have slept with a man, yet I was in grade 8. It continued like this until I started to go to the grove with my auntie. We started to share boyfriends. So when I went to the city after I had left the village, then I graduated and I started working at a hospital in Bloem, and I have a good life, a steady salary, and I just continued doing what I used to do, getting drunk on weekends, going to different clubs. So the turning point happened. It was on a Friday night. I was at a popular club in Bloem. I had been invited. There was a wealthy Nigerian guy in Bloem who was having his birthday. This Nigerian guy, he was very handsome. But some of us, because we were invited, like we were not in the VIP, but I could see what was happening in the VIP section on that birthday night of his. And I managed to get a guy who brought me to the VIP, and we were sitting on our own table. But this guy, I saw that he was not having a lot of money. And then I looked at the owner of the birthday party, the Nigerian guy. I liked everything what he was doing. There was a girl that was sitting on his lap wearing long, expensive Peruvian weave. He was just buying drinks. He ordered 20 bottles of Hennessy VSOP and they put them on the table. I watched Brother Nashi. I was mesmerized with what I saw. The table, it was full of Hennessy bottles, and all of them, those Nigerians, they were screaming and they were like, wash her hair. They were just screaming and telling him to show them that he has money by washing the girlfriend's expensive Peruvian weave with alcohol. I thought that he was not going to do it. He opened the bottles one by one. He did not pour them into glasses. He started pouring the alcohol over the girl's hair. He was literally washing her Peruvian weave with Hennessy. And this was a sign that this guy, he had money. And as a gold digger, I started to lust after him. I felt like I could undress myself and go there and tell him to make me to bend over and sleep with me in the club to show him that I wanted him. And I started to speak with this other girl whom I was with at the table where we were seated, and she was like, I want this guy. I wish I had a guy like that one. And I also said, me too, I want him. I don't care what it takes. I want a man who is not stingy, because the blesser that we had, he was so stingy. We only had 2 bottles on our table, and when you would pour, you would watch you as you are drinking, as if he wanted you to drink slowly, yet you wanted to drink as much as you wanted. I did not know that I was looking at a ritualist. I did not even know that this guy, he was someone that was in a cult. I made my move. By the end of the night, Brownash, in my drunkenness, I found myself in his Mercedes Benz. I really do not know how it happened, but I'm someone that is very curvy. When I am walking, especially when I am dressed in non-decent clothes, heads will turn. So this guy, he took me and we started talking. I literally woke up. I was with him in his car and we were headed for his place. My heart started banging so fast, and I said, finally, Lerato, you have done it. You have won this guy. Within a month, Pronash, I was living a good life. Even though at the hospital where I am working, my workmates, they were like, wow, this guy of yours is very rich, because he would go and drop me off, even though he had told me that he did not want me to be working at the hospital. He would complain and say, all those 12-hour shifts, and when I want to sleep with you, then you are complaining, saying that you are tired. I want you to sleep for the rest of the day so that I can be able to sleep with you whenever I want to sleep with you. So I would try as much as I would be tired from working, but when I would go to his place, then I would make sure that this guy, I give it to him as much as he wanted me to give it to him, and he can give me money back. He moved me into the suburbs, but I made sure that I did not stop working. Since I was finding it difficult to commute to work, he then bought for me a Range Rover, and he gave me a black credit card that had no limit. I was living the dream. I was so proud of myself. But a soft life, I did not know that having a soft life, it has a hidden price. He had strange rules. He told me that we should never have kids. I was fine with that. He said that he is part of a cult. He told me the truth, that he is part of a cult, and that is why when I am with him in his house, we only had sex whilst we were standing up. True fact, Pronash, we only had sex a couple of days sleeping on the bed. But when we started like really dating, when he told me that he was not seeing any other girl apart from me in his life, and therefore we were supposed to do what he wanted to be done. So he told me that he does not enjoy other styles. The only style that we did was making love while he's standing up, or me bending over. I don't remember ever sleeping with him. Even when we were drunk, we would always make love whilst we were standing up. And he had a room. Inside of that room, I saw that there was a small altar that was covered in a red and a white cloth. And he told me that if I wanted to stay, I was supposed to agree to a spiritual union. He did not use the word ritual. He said that it can be a partnership so that if he prosper, I also prosper. And then he told me about my womb. He said, since we're not going to have a baby, how about you give me your womb and I give you money? I said, how much? He said, I'll give you 100K. Oh, bro, I used that money to go and buy myself a Louis Vuitton jacket, which was worth 25K. The other money, I used it to order clothes online. I did nothing with the money that I got from selling my womb. When he spoke about me selling my womb to him, I just thought that it is one of those weird guys who believe in African magic. And I said, I'm going to chop his money for nothing. So I agreed and he transferred the money into my account. And we went into that altar room and he gave me something to drink, which was a herbal mixture, which tasted so awful. And at night, I had a vision. I saw a snake that was made out of gold. I saw it wrapped itself around my waist and it used my belly button as an entry point where it entered my womb. When I woke up, I felt this strange coldness in my lower abdomen. It was not pain. I just felt empty and I knew that I did not have a womb. That month, I waited for my period and I waited, and the periods did not come. And when I told him that I was not seeing my periods, maybe I was pregnant, he told me that I was not pregnant. It was impossible for me to be pregnant. And I said to him, you sound so sure about yourself. Don't you know that I am not taking any family planning prevention method? And he was like, yeah. And I said, so I might be pregnant because we are sleeping with each other raw, not using any condoms. He was like, no, love, you're not pregnant. And I told him that I thought that I was pregnant. And then he said, oh, you've forgotten. And I asked him, what was he talking about? He said, you've forgotten that we went and we sacrificed your womb. That was when I felt my heart banging so fast across my chest. And I said, so you are telling me that I don't have a womb? And he said, yes, I gave you the money, did I not? The money that I gave to you, it was for the womb that you sold to me. Brother Nashi, I could not believe it. I waited for the next month for my periods to come. My periods did not even come. And then I went to a doctor. When I went to the doctor, when they did the scan and the results, they were impossible. The doctor said that your uterus, it seems as if you no longer have a womb at all. But what surprises me is that you do not have any surgical scars. Did you go to a plastic surgeon to get yourself sorted out? And I was like, no. And the doctor was like, how is it possible that you do not have a womb? And I saw that what my Nigerian boyfriend had told me was the truth. And I lied to the doctor and I said, no, I was just joking with you. I do have a womb, but I'm feeling a little bit of pain. And the doctor said that he was going to give me some antibiotics and I was supposed to return back so that he can see if there was any other internal damage that had been caused by the surgery that I had after my womb had been removed. I was lying. When I left his office, Brother Nashi, those antibiotics, I just threw them away because I was not going to drink those antibiotics, yet I was not even in pain. I had gone to the doctor lying that I was feeling so much pain in my womb, and the doctor found out that I did not have any womb. I returned back to my Nigerian boyfriend and I told him that I had been to the doctor, and surprisingly, the doctor had told me that I don't have any womb at all. The Nigerian then said to me, yes, but we agreed on this. Remember that I gave you money. I transferred 100K. Even though we were dating, do you think that I'll just give you 100K for nothing? And I was like, so you are for real that you stole my womb? And he said, no, I did not steal your womb, but you gave me your womb, remember. So I then told him that I wanted more money because I felt as if my womb was worth something more. And then that was when he said to me, okay, I can't just give you money for nothing. And I said, so what do you want me to do? Because you gave me only 100K and I believe that my womb is worth more than 100K. It was like, in order for me to give you more money, we have to do anal sex. And we did that, and he paid me 35K on top. And that was the end of our relationship because I could not continue being around him. And besides, I was dating another guy who was into tenders. It turned out that this guy, the South African one, he also uses some magic to get the tenders, because in his car, in the glove compartment, I found out that there was a hand. I don't know if it was a monkey hand or if it was a human hand, but it was dried up. It was so scary. One day we had gone out, so we passed through McDonald's because I was hungry, and usually when I go and drink alcohol before I eat anything, I vomit and I won't even enjoy the night out. So before we went to the club, we went to a McDonald's, and there was a lot of cars by the drive-through, and then we went into the parking area. He went to order whilst I was in the car. When I was left alone, I opened the glove compartment with the intentions of stealing any money that I was going to find in the glove compartment. And then that was when I found out that there was a dried out human hand or a monkey hand, which he uses to get his tenders. When he came back, he was like, Lerato, why do you always go around snooping in my stuff? Because you will touch things that will make you to die. Don't touch that. I use it to go and submit papers when I want tenders, and I can't tell you much. It is helping me to stay in business so that I can sleep with a beautiful woman like you. If I had no money, Lerato, would you even think about dating me? And I said no. So it was like, don't touch my stuff again, please, especially the stuff that is spiritual. I do not want you to touch them again. So that guy, he showed me that he's doing rituals. I'm still doing this thing to this very day. I've not yet stopped. I never learn because of the way that I was brought up by my auntie. I can't learn anything because she messed me up. Ever since I was still in grade 8, I was already sleeping with men that were 50 years, 40 years old, men that gave me money for sex. So it is hard for a woman like me to understand. I have my own worldview that is totally different from the worldview of your listeners. But still, as a human being, I have reached a tipping point in my life where I see that there is no way I'm going with this. I'm getting old. I was shocked one day. I was taken to a club by my blesser. So this blesser of mine, I know that he loves to have threesomes. And I went there. It was me and him, and he said that we're going to meet up with the other girlfriend at the club. When we were at the club, bro Nash, I was embarrassed. We ended up having a threesome. In my age, having a threesome with my boyfriend, with a girl that is 19 years, someone that can't even properly wash their cookie yet we were there in bed sharing the same man. That made me to realize that I can't go on like this. I'm old. I'm just embarrassed to tell you how old I am, but some of my age mates, they have stable homes, and I'm still playing this sleigh queen, and I really do not know how to stop being the person that I am right now. Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. You have seen it all. Let us speak with him in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.